So Mike reporting for ESCKAZ.com, continuing with our head of delegation interviews and with the Australian head of delegation, well, joint head of delegation, Mr. Paul Clarke. Welcome to Lisbon, my friend.
How are you, Michael? I'm well.
Yeah.
We've just done our second rehearsal and it's gone well. Australia, we always come here and we don't do a national selection. So we have a tendency to kind of pull elements together, and then when we get here we kind of throw them together on the stage. Yeah. So our first rehearsal is always a little bit nerve-wracking. Yeah. Or is that going to work?
I think every delegation feels like that, a little bit. Yeah.
Certainly we do. Yeah. We do. We're still waking up at 3 in the morning and going, is that, what do we do? Yeah, it's like that.
Okay, so you touched there on your internal selection and you pick an artist. Australia have always done that since they've been in. Do you think one day maybe we'll start to have a national final, and how would that work if you do?
Look, it's under review at SBS. It's something that we're considering. I think that the beauty of what we've been able to do so far is that we've been able to deliver really strong artists from the top calibre of the Australian kind of music scene. So we were lucky that we got Guy, who was the biggest star in the country. Dami.
Amazing singer, Dami.
Yeah, well, Dami was not at the top end of her career at that point, and it was great to be able to bring her here because we all felt that there was enormous potential, and she was the perfect artist for Eurovision in Stockholm. With Isaiah, it was a good opportunity to showcase a young talent and to give him a go. And with Jessica, she sort of started the story for us. Like we began in an interval act in Copenhagen, and so to be able to give her the opportunity to be here was a really important thing, and to be able to compete. So I think that the idea of a national selection is gathering steam at home. Okay, cool. And we have enough talent that we could drive that. Yeah. But we're still considering what's the form, how would it be? Yeah. It obviously couldn't be as big as Melody Festival.
Well, no, that's the biggest, so yeah.
We couldn't do that, but yet whenever I go to Melody Festival and I'm overcome with the passion of it and the way the Swedes care for it. Yeah. Australians are Eurovision crazy.
Yeah, we know.
We love it. We so love it, and we so appreciate being here. So I think it's a chance just to develop that momentum a little bit more.
Okay. So maybe in a couple of years' time.
Maybe.
Okay.
Maybe.
And so touching on the promotional parties and the fan media, this has exploded over the last few years. What's your opinions on the promotional parties? Do you think they're useful? And also, what's your opinions on the fan media? Do you think they're useful? Do you take on board some of the things we say?
Well, I think firstly the promotional gigs beforehand, I think they're incredibly important because it's the blogosphere, it's the people. Eurovision's a very different environment because it's not the mainstream press, and it's people that really care about the form of Eurovision, and they want to drive the excitement of particular artists that just generate a passion. So I think those fan parties just give people the opportunities, the Kremlin watchers, just to be able to go, have you seen Israel? Have you seen Cyprus? This is exciting. Is Sweden the best this year? I don't know. Is this? So it just creates, it turns the mouse wheel. And I love that about it. It's been wonderful for Jess to be able to come to Israel, to Amsterdam, to London, and just get the sense of they're not all competitors. They become friends. Yeah, exactly. And there's a lot of contact between each of the. They're all DMing each other, and it's lovely.
Yeah, it is nice because yes, Eurovision is a competition, but first and foremost, I think the friendships that everybody makes is the most important thing that most people take away from that.
Absolutely, it's so important, and it's a huge stage. It's the Hunger Games of music, and if you haven't got those friendships, it's a big deal to stand there and just deliver.
Yeah, but do you think the promotional parties influence the final result in
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I think
you're the first head of delegation that said that.
I absolutely believe that they do, and I think that with things like Israel and London, you can just feel this is an artist, even on this size stage, this is someone that could drive the competition. Now, yesterday we saw the Germans came in, and to me it was a game changer to watch them. It just, all of a sudden, fantastic, Germany's got this great thing, and I wasn't quite as aware of them as I was as yesterday. And it just inspired me. Spain, the same thing.
Okay.
But in answer to your second question, the fan media is very important, and there are things that It's so funny because you start with ideas and you present, this is what I want to do, that's what I want to do, or what if we do this, what if we do that? And then when you put it on stage and you listen to some of the insightful comments from the fan media and you go, damn it, they got it. They've spotted the chink in the armour, or they've gone, actually, that's a good idea. Let's take it in that direction. So when you arrive here, you have to be able to change because you can't put anything on a stage immaculately. The one thing that I'd consider changing at Eurovision is the rule that there is a first rehearsal that's filmed, because I think that...
You just stole my last question.
Sorry.
But it's okay, you can tell me now.
I think that puts some of the artists at in a difficult corner, and that's just one thing that I would change about it.
Just touching on that, as a media, we've been asking for several years now for the filming of the performances and the rehearsals to be cut completely. So there are new rules came in this year. We are now only using very small segments of footage, and yeah, it's interesting to hear back from a delegation that you guys want it cut as well. We would still like to do photography, because I think photography is good. You can delete the rubbish photographs, but the minute a video clip is out there, it's immediately stolen and put everywhere all over the internet. And it's a rehearsal after all.
It is a rehearsal, and I think that it's a very specific event and it has its own specific rules, and that's wonderful. I think that the challenge is that so much of it is driven by the fan media. And when you put first rehearsal on the stage, you are trying things out, and it's sort of... I watched Belgium last year, and she was wonderful. She had this great song, and she lost a lot of confidence, and it took a lot for the team to build her back up. But it was a brilliant song, and they got there. A lot of performers don't actually, they can't be put back together, and I think that's a shame. It's because as a delegation head, you're trying to develop the confidence of your performer and just carry them through. And sometimes those first rehearsals are quite naked.
Sometimes they're barely more than sound checks.
Yeah, that's right. You know what I mean? That's right. And I feel like there's just I think people are slightly overly critical about the first rehearsal.
Absolutely, yeah.
Just having done things like Kylie or Robbie Williams, there is no way that you would never see a sound check. Never put a first rehearsal to it.
Exactly. Paul, amazing to speak to you. Thanks so much for your answers. Get outside. We have now Australian sunshine here now.
It's beautiful. The weird thing about here is that there are a lot of Australian trees, and just I totally feel at home.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks very much, Paul. Good luck with everything.
All right. Good luck with the quiz this afternoon. I hope you win.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Cheers.